Hunter's boat. They were supposed to be celebrating her biggest sale ever. A large blown glass sculpture she called the Selkie was the size of a toddler and twice as heavy, and its sale would pay for a year's worth of rent. Glass blowers don't make a lot of sales like that, not even on Martha's Vineyard, and so a night of overindulgence might have been expected. But the party at the bar went on too long, and the after-party shouldn't have happened at all. With or without Kyle, the boat had been a bad idea. Kyle's shoulders swayed with a gust of wet wind. He looked around nervously at the choppy waters and used one hand to steady himself on the edge of the boat before returning it to Kat's waist. Was that hesitation she saw? A second thought about where he was taking this? In his inebriation, Kyle seemed to be oscillating between asking permission and not asking. He was a beggar and a predator, both at once. But his grip on her body didn't relent for long. Kat still felt trapped. "Kyle, let's drive back in. It's starting to really come down." We will, he said. "In a few minutes." Even if she broke away from him, where would she go? Kat was usually good at this, recognizing untrustworthy characters and threatening scenarios. It was a skill learned of necessity, unfortunately for her. But the whiskey had dulled her powers, and Kyle had seemed so desperate to impress, too passive to be a threat. She didn't see this move coming. She'd overlooked the signs, and at some point along the way, the evening simply got away from her. It all started with the sculpture. She was sure of that. That was when her euphoria set in, which was roughly the same time that her good judgment left her. "That's a heavy fucking mermaid," Hunter had said. 6 hours before, Kat, Sean, and Hunter had delivered the 80-pound glass artwork, her big sale, to the pristine summer home of a local art collector. It took all three of them to lift it from the dolly. "It's not a mermaid," she corrected him. "It's a Selkie." Hunter rubbed his lower back. "I don't know what that is." "It's basically a mermaid," Sean said from the doorway of the elegant home. He was ready to leave. Sean had seen the glass sculpture before. He'd seen it at every stage over the preceding months as Kat labored around it with pipes of molten glass and blowtorches. He'd told her he thought it was a risky idea, putting so much money and energy into an enormous work of abstract art on the hope that some crazy rich person would pay $10,000 for it. People wanted fancy bowls and paperweights shaped like whales, he'd said. That's what sells. But he was wrong. He shouldn't have doubted Kat because she had created something extraordinary, and now a rich person was buying it, and for much more than that. Kat called it the Selkie because, at the right angle, you could see the curve of female hips, shoulders, and breasts. The bottom half looked more seal than human. From a different view, it was a smooth abstraction, with ribbons of gray-blue waves running through it. Haunting from every angle, it was technically interesting, but not the sort of thing most people would want to look at every day. "Come on, we have to get this dolly back to Kyle at the bar," Kat said. She had been eager to get out of the art collector's house, too, and on to the celebration with their friends. It wasn't always the case, but on some occasions, Kat found it strange to be alone with these two men, one of whom was her boyfriend. They'd been hanging out so much lately that it was beginning to feel like she was dating both of them, or like Hunter was their adopted 30-something child, or she was theirs. Most of the time she could ignore the odd feeling, but on that day, Kat wanted it to end. They left the collector's house just as the sun was going down. Kat remembered the station of the sun vividly. As they stepped out into the overcast October evening, she felt a lightness that went beyond the lost weight of her artwork. She was high on the possibility that this sale could portend greater opportunities down the road. Richer clients, bigger price tags, more ambitious works. She was also relieved by the sudden influx of cash into her checking account. It was a near guarantee.